Hi, why am I standing in the middle of a warehouse with some rock music playing? Well, I'm at WorldFlight headquarters for their annual event, and right behind the camera here is the world's most expensive do-it-yourself flight simulator. Check it out. Wow, look at this. It's a full motion 747-400 simulator, and it's here in Sydney at an undisclosed location, but it's been primarily designed and built by Simulator Solutions, once again here in Sydney, and it was in the Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know if it still is, but yeah, it's a full motion simulator. So let's check it out. Trust me, you are going to love this. It's brilliant, and this is what's happening inside at the moment. These are a bunch of aviation nerds who get together every year to raise money for charity, and I'll put the link in down below. They're raising money for the Royal Flying Doctor Service, which is an absolutely fantastic cause. And there's about 15 or so of these simulators, not necessarily full motion ones like we're going to see here. This is the world's most expensive and advanced one, but this is an older one. They're building even a newer one, which we'll go through, so stick around for that. But they're in there at the moment preparing to take off, and we'll go in there and join them shortly for the takeoff. But they all get together once a year, and they're absolutely fanatical about flying full flights in these 747-400s all around the world, all in real time, all with real-time air traffic control, with weather charts and with flight schedules, and it is virtually identical to a commercial flight. You're really, a commercial 747 pilot really wouldn't know the difference here, that they're flying around the world. And no, this is not built by Boeing. This is a privately owned, just for fun, 747 full motion simulator. Wow, this is, and there's the other one. There's the new one over there. That one's even more advanced than this one, but let's go. And I won't pretend to know all that's going on under here, but you can see it's bolted and I've heard glued down to the floor. And this is the full motion part of it. I don't know, you know, the exact tilt angles and stuff it can tilt at, but it is. They've put a lot of effort into this. It's very professional. And none of this has anything to do with Boeing. This is not a Boeing simulator. As I said, this is a fully do-it-yourself thing. Of course, they use a lot of original modules and things like that from the actual Boeing 747 aircraft. But yeah, it is a do-it-yourself job. All right, they're going to operate it for me so we can see the hydraulics go. I've been told I am out of there. Here we go. There it is. Once again, I have no idea what the hydraulics is, what bits are working, what's not. But geez, that's going up pretty high. There you go. That's neat. And all the air conditioning ducts on the side there. You can see, sorry, there's a party going on here at the moment. They do enjoy their flight simulators here. This goes on all week. And this is the WorldFlight route for 2019. So they fly, you know, from Sydney to Christchurch, Christchurch to Auckland, Auckland to Pago. Where on earth is that? Pago to Honolulu. It's obviously a Pacific island somewhere, and Denver to Las Vegas. They were just in there before. They fly across the US, and here's the flight schedule of people who are scheduled to fly, captain and first officer. And these people take it really deadly serious, so much so that they've got scoring the Top Gear touchdowns. So whoever scores the best touchdown, the computer automatically determines, you know, the sweet spot of where they actually land and everything like that, and you know how much pressure they touch down with, and the whole kit and caboodle. So this thing is remarkable. And there it is, WorldFlight Australia. Let's go into the hydraulic pump room. Let's have a look.
It's warm in here.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa, it is very warm in here. You've got an aircon to cool it down?
Small exhaust.
Oh, that's not going to do much.
Yeah. We have a master switch over in the over on the wall there, and we're very safety conscious here with a lockout, danger safety lockout. When we turn it off, we place it on there, and then there's another master switch here that we just bring down and cuts it off the power to the hydraulic pump there. It's the pump, tubes that lead out to the simulator to drive the rams.
And this is all custom built for this?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Have you got shots of the...
Oh, no, I haven't got that yet. Oh. All right, Rod's going to tell us about this, which is the control rack. Is that the correct term? Does it have a term?
Absolutely. This is the rack of computer systems that drives the current simulator. So as you can see, there are 9 computers in here at the moment, which drive various different displays. It also drives the scenery, the 3 projectors that you see out there. We have a couple of screens set up, a KVM to allow us to flick between computers, and as you can see in the simulator, they're remotely printing out a flight plan for themselves at the moment.
Oh, that is the flight plan?
That is the flight plan, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, so someone's inside the sim
Someone's inside the sim, driving the computer in there to do that.
Right.
So basically the top level is all the power supplies. Yeah, we've butchered up a couple of old PC supplies in there to give us 12 volts and 28 volts. Yep. We've got a couple of massive 12 volt power supplies over there just to supply backlighting amongst other things. Next level down is probably all the keyboard screens. And this beautiful old beast here is our motion controller.
That looks
1980s vintage. You know, you turn this thing on and it takes about less than a second to boot up.
Of course.
To turn it off and turn it on again, it's ready to go.
Is that micro controlled, or is
there is a microcontroller in there, made by the McFadden Motion Company somewhere in the US.
Okay.
And it was formerly on a Frasca flight simulator down in Adelaide.
Oh, okay, so you repurposed it.
So we repurposed it. So Matthew bought 3 motion systems. It was a buy one, get 2 free deal.
Great.
He said sold 2 of the motion systems, and this is the device we have. Yep. And then moving down, obviously the massive, enormous computer there does the visual system, and it's driving 3 1080p projectors up in the ceiling of the simulator. I believe that one is probably still on Windows 7. Right. We do have a goal to get all of these machines to Windows 10, but given some of their ages and some of the odd configurations, we're having a few issues with the Windows 10 update on some of them.
Got it.
But all of these computers are shortly to be consigned to the retired computer department as we replace them with more modern things to go with the complete simulator upgrade that is coming in the near future.
So this will be replaced by what? One big ass computer, or?
No, we're looking at a whole series of different solutions. Yep. The great thing about the simulator software is it will actually run on a Raspberry Pi.
Oh,
really? Pi 3, it'll run on the Raspberry Pi. That's because it's a Java-based system.
Yeah.
And as you know, Java runs on Linux, it runs on Apple, and it runs on runs on Windows. So that's one of the ideas, but we're probably going to be looking at some Intel NUCs or something that's relatively fanless, lightweight, and we'll probably end up doing one machine per display, and probably 1 or 2 other machines just for some other things that we run in the background and the server system, etc. So that's the plan for the future. Much smaller rack, much more beautiful, and much more professionally laid out.
But we'll keep the motion control.
The motion controller will stay, and even if that motion controller starts to develop some faults, I think we might send it to you and pop the oscilloscope onto it, and I'm sure we can still find a lot of those chips and a lot of those systems that are still in manufacture, standard off-the-shelf componentry.
The flight we just had, when we're coming into Chicago, there was a hydraulic hiccup, and it really went thump and bang.
It went thump and bang. It chucked us out one side. It's sometimes common. It can be caused by the data stream that comes in. So those old systems, they're very simple. It's a serial interface. I think it's even down to about 9600 baud, and it's a series of values that we send, including a checksum at the end. Now, if there's a minor hiccup and it doesn't receive the checksum at the end, it will drop out.
It resets itself?
It will drop out, it'll kick the motion out, and you have to manually restart the motion system.
Right.
Also, what may have happened today as well, we may have hit a bit of turbulence, it hit a mechanical limit, in which case it says, no, I've reached my limit, and so it goes into an emergency shutdown process, which is kind of what we felt, which is sort of settled on the 3 legs and we were down.
Just like a stabilizer on a plane, is there like trim for this thing? Do you have to trim it out first before you start?
Actually, when we first got it, because the weight that's on it now is significantly heavier than what was originally on it, we put it into a series of test systems. So they're almost sinusoidal oscillations. And what we do is we check, there's 3 hydraulic rams under there, as you've seen, and we check to see that each ram is coming up at the same speed and dropping down at the same speed. So if they're all working perfectly, the platform comes up level and goes down level. If they're not working perfectly, it'll sort of come up and it'll do a bit of an oscillation. And we can tune those values out so that it comes up and down absolutely perfectly level. Yeah. So, and that's something, a calibration that we do periodically on the unit. You know, it's a bit old and, you know, maybe I think we might give it a bit of an overhaul in the near future, replace some of the hydraulic fittings and charge the accumulator and see how we go.
How would you get this thing off its mount? Does it come off in one piece or do you have to...
It comes off in one piece. We use a skyhook for that. We just go down to the hardware store and we ask for a skyhook.
Right.
Actually, what we'll do is we'll end up bringing a jib crane in, either on the back of a HIAB on the back of a truck. Or some other sort of portable crane. We've got some lifting points on it and we can lift it off, move it aside, and we'll pop the new unit on there, line it all up, bolt it down, but as I said, before we put the new one on, I think we might do a fair bit of restoration work on this, and we're also going to take some weight off the platform as well. We don't necessarily need the 1/4-inch steel plate over on top of the 1/4-inch steel frame.
It's a pretty serious bit of kit.
This is, They reckon, the manufacturers when we first got this reckoned it could cope with double the weight that we've put on it.
And how much weight have you put on it? How much does this
I think there's about a ton of weight on top of it at the moment, I think, about 1,000 kilos. And that giant tank at the back there is a hydraulic accumulator that we charge with nitrogen.
Right.
And so there's effectively a diaphragm or a bladder in the middle of that. And what that does is it damps out a lot of the hydraulic, fluid. And I'm sure people on your on your comments will tell us all about the bits that I got wrong. But that's one of the things. And often as the charge in that starts to drop, you feel that the motion becomes a lot more jerky, and you know that the accumulator is starting to get low in charge.
All right, so we will come back. There will be a part 2 to this.
Oh my goodness!
Which you'll show us the new simulator. We'll get an extensive guided tour of that.
An extensive guided tour of that,
and the
hardware which we have designed.
Simulation Solutions.
Simulator Solutions is our little business, and as we say, we bring simulators to life.
Excellent. I can attest to that. It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Rod.
No worries, Dave. Thanks.
All right, what is this, Rod?
Okay, so this is an Allied Signals transducer wheel command.
Wow.
So basically this little device here is what senses a couple of levers in the cockpit of a 747.
Right.
Inside this unit is a triple redundant setup with 3 parallel synchro resolvers, all measuring the position of this simple little cog here. One shaft, 3 resolvers, all these pins. It is an incredibly complex but a beautiful piece of engineering.
I'm sure it is if you tore it. How would you get it? You can actually tear it down. There's 2
we
screws
can
on
tear
the
it
top.
down. We're a few screws on the top.
Yeah, we won't do that now.
We won't do that now, but we might have a look at one of these a bit later.
Oh, brilliant. In a part 2. All right. Thanks, mate.
No worries.
You can see some of the control racking down here, but this is the actual simulator itself, and just the amount of effort that's gone into this is absolutely incredible. Anyway, let's take a look inside. Let's join them for a takeoff.
Starting 1.
It's already up.
Yep, was up. Okay, so we've got rotation on 4, rotation on 1, fuel on 4, No, yeah, there she goes. Okay, light off on 4. Cut out on 1.
Alright, let's start 3 and start 2. Fielding on 3 and 2.
Starting 3, starting 2, rotation on 2, rotation on 3. Fuel in 3, fuel in 1, light off 3, light off 2. Cut out on 2 and 3.
Yep, there we go.
Okay.
There we go. I need 2 to
Demands
disappear. Thank you. That was
configured.
my thing to do, but that's alright.
Okay.
APU off.
Yep.
Okay, passenger signs auto. Alright, we're good to go backwards, I think. So it's back and tail to the left. Switch to
Tail to the right.
Tail to the right. No,
Yep.
Can you get the ground frequency up?
Which is good question. The ground is on here. New Orleans ground is 1219. Of course, it's 1219. It's always 1219.
Is that an apron or something? Is there?
No, it's 1219 ground.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, let's go backwards.
Clear to go backwards.
Okay. Parking brake released.
And just don't pull full reverse. You've kind of got to pull about 3/4 or something. No, your reverse doors hadn't opened, that was all.
Yeah.
Okay, green reverse. Take the brakes off.
Yep.
Pull a bit more. Geez, I wish they'd get the tugs fixed at the airport. Make pushback so much easier. Yeah, you've got to keep it there. It flames out a bit. No, just leave it there. Yep. It's a runway heading. Yep.
At the moment, runway heading.
Yep. Heading select. I got a ground, Qantas 25, just pushing back from the stand, looking for a taxi for runway 11. 11 via Echo, Qantas 25. And she'll roll forward a bit. Okay, so it's a hard left turn, and we're cleared via Echo to 11. I'll sort your V speeds out again.
Thank you.
27, 36, 55, 27, 55.
Is there a taxiway here or straight out onto
Straight out onto...
this taxiway here?
Yes.
Is there something between us and the...
No, there's... Just keep going. Yeah, round to the left. Okay, if you want to do a control check for me, that would be good. Yep, you keep taxiing, I'll look at the numbers. Qantas 25, copies that, give way to the Delta to the right. Hey, flaps.
Flaps 10 planned, indicated in D10.
And 10 indicated. Yes, control check.
Control check is complete.
Complete. LNAV, VNAV, we have VNAV armed.
VNAV.
Continue taxi, Qantas 25. Okay, nacelle anti-ice is not required. Nice clear night, no visible moisture. Trims.
Trims should be 6 units. I haven't set it, you need to check on the...
Copy that. Radio, FMCs, weights and speeds I should say.
Checked and set.
Yes, FMCs radios.
Program set for departure.
Good stuff. EGPWS.
I will go out on weather because there's no terrain around here.
Okay, I'll go on terrain. And weather set, terrain set, auto mode is set. Thrust.
Thrust 105 EPO, full takeoff, no derating.
Excellent. MCP.
MCP, we've got 155 for our V2. We're going at runway heading 106, 4,000 cleared initially.
Excellent. Okay, down to the final items. 119.5, we'll get that set. 119.5, ready to go. And what was that departure frequency I gave you? 133.
13315.
That was pretty cool, actually.
That was
That's
very
awesome.
cool.
That brought back some serious memories coming in on final there. G'day Tower, Qantas 25 is with you, holding short runway 11. There you go, your runway heading 106. Line up and wait, runway 11, Qantas 25.
Get rolling. And you do the final items for me, please.
Wilco. Final items, we have cabin notification is complete, transponder is set 5264, mode Charlie, TARA is on, auto throttles are armed, and ECAS is recall, and cancel, we know about the data link. Final items are complete.
Thank you.
So wind calm, we know 13315 will be the next frequency. And good runway heading, which you have set. Uh, 2555, Qantas 25.
And correction, Qantas 25, just confirm
125.5, Qantas 25. If you just want to hit that motion button up there for us.
Let's hit the motion button.
That's it. Off we go.
Active.
Take a minute. It'll take half a minute to pop up, and then we'll be good. Reversing. No.
Big pothole you just hit there, mate.
I'm not moving.
Oh, okay. Rightio.
Thank you. Hey.
Landing lights are on, taxi lights off.
Landing lights are working. There he goes.
Yep.
Just rolling on the left there.
You're comfy, you're set, seats locked.
Qantas 25, sir.
Clear for takeoff, Qantas 25. Thanks. Have a good night.
All right.
Good to go. Okay. We have thrust set.
Thank you.
– 80 knots.
Check.
V1. Rotate. Come on. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up. And it was 1255 airborne, wasn't it?
I missed that.
No,
bit.
no, it won't be. He'll tell us.
Tell us, yeah.
Yep. Speed.
Flat 5.
Flat 5. Climb power set. .25, Qantas 25. Thanks very much. G'day.